Speaking of great company, let's jump out and talk to great company. Our guy, Brian Baldinger. Baldy, another suit, man. You are bringing your A game recently.
Yeah, I get trapped sometimes in doing some of the stuff I got to do. So sometimes I got to try to keep it together, put it together. So that's where we're at today, guys. Good to see everybody.
Good to see you
Good to
too,
see you,
Baldy.
Baldy.
Yeah,
And
Michael.
Baldy, I don't know if you were just coming from Jets. Sometimes you are coming from the Jets facility, and you say sometimes you get trapped in places. Man, that's not a place I want to be trapped right now. That's a tough place to be. On the other hand, the Broncos are not a tough building to be in right now. 4-1 in their last 5 games. You look at the Broncos; they're the 7th seed in the AFC playoffs. If it were to end right now, I know there's a lot of time left in this season, but we're seeing trades go down left and right in the NFL, including a couple since we've been on the show today. And the hottest name on the market right now is Cooper Kupp. Should the Broncos consider making a big move to go get a guy like Cooper Kupp?
That'd be a great fit. He's just a great fit. I mean, he does everything the right way. I mean, he's a worker. He's all about team. He's an excellent blocker. He gets open. Like, he gets open as easy as anybody in this business. He's had some injuries down the last 2 years, so I don't know just the overall health and if that's a big concern with these teams. But he's a guy that I would want because I know he'd be part of any good culture in the NFL. Like, that's what type of person, what type of player he is.
Cooper Kupp does a great job of getting open, and like we saw on Thursday night, there was a couple open receivers on the Broncos that Bo Nix missed. Were you surprised by how he missed his wide open guys, and is that something that they can correct quickly so that he can play much better as the season goes on?
Well, I mean, it looks like there's a shift right now in who he's throwing to. I mean, it was Troy Franklin on Thursday night. It was Devon Vile. It was, Lucas Krull. Like, there's a new group, it looks like. I mean, we didn't see much of Cortland at all. We didn't see any of Josh Reynolds. So, maybe it's just building timing with some of these young guys, although, Troy Franklin, he's known him forever. So, but, look, that's a heavy man-to-man team in New Orleans. They're not going to give you a lot, although, they wiped him up pretty good. But I don't know if anybody plays as much straight man-to-man is what New Orleans does, and so they make it difficult, in some cases.
I'm curious, the 2 big targets that we've talked about are Cooper Kupp and David Njoku. I'm curious which one you think would be more valuable to the Broncos, just given all that goes into that production and age and injuries and everything.
Well, I think Njoku would probably be a better addition right now, simply because I don't know what tight end you can trust. We saw Krull make some catches the other day. He has all the size that you're looking for, runs pretty good. But Njoku has been an elite player in this business. When they got him going last year, the offense opened up. He's got the size, the ability after the catch. Like, he's a talented player, and he just needs a better system and a quarterback right now. If he's available, I would make the inquiry if I was Denver. I know he would help him in the red zone. And over the middle, I think you'd make life a little bit easier for the rookie quarterback right now to upgrade that position.
And speaking of Bo Nix, that rookie quarterback, Baldy, Bo has the 4th most rushing yards among quarterbacks in the NFL right now, 75 rushing yards against the Saints. Do the Broncos and Sean Payton need to lean into that even more moving forward and really have even more designed runs for him?
Now, he's talented. I mean, he has an ability now to make people miss and to see the lanes down the field. You just always worry about, even if you look at, what's happening in Washington right now, and you look at Jaden Daniels. I mean, I think in the first play of the game last week against Carolina, he goes 46 yards on a read option, and I know he got hurt on that play. He held it together for another 8 or 9 plays, but I think he got hurt on that play, and it looked like kind of routine run. He got hit, but it didn't look like it was exceptionally hard. But he was grabbing that left rib the rest of the day until they replaced him. So that's the danger, and that's the concern is, yes, you have the rules in place to slide and protect yourself. Some of these guys know it and will use it. Sometimes they're just being aggressive and competitive, and they end up, putting themselves in harm's way. So that's the concern if you start dialing up more design runs for him, which he's very good at.
Baldy, I want to keep talking about the Broncos rushing attack. In this Thursday night game, they had over 200 yards rushing. And I know they played the same team that gave up 51 points the week before. But is this rushing attack the real deal, or was that a product of playing a team that's not really good right now?
I think I don't know what's happened to that defense. I mean, we know a lot of the same names, but they're not playing well. Demario Davis has led that team in tackles probably every year he's been there. He's a great player. He's just invisible right now. So they're not playing well at all. And the team you're going to see this weekend was terrible last week against Washington and all the things that they did in the run game. It will change the next 2 weeks when you see Baltimore and Kansas City. It's going to change. So you probably get a bigger field, bigger test. But I just think ever since that second half against the Jets, Javonte looks like Javonte more of his rookie season than what we saw maybe last year or the first 3 weeks this year. So I think he's running the ball much better. The stats say that he is, but I also think getting McGlinchey back probably helped. They block better, but I think the opponents also make a difference too, and just how porous New Orleans defense is.
Yeah, well, and then they follow up the Saints game with a game against the Panthers, another team that isn't all that impressive. Do you think that that's maybe valuable for a young team just to have some reps against a couple of teams that they should beat up on just before they get into the rest of the season where things are going to get tougher?
Yeah, you would like to see them treat the way you treat Carolina, the way they treated New Orleans. Like, not even let them in the game. Take the game away from them and, play with the lead and get the lead and, wipe bad teams up. And that's a confidence builder, knowing that they're not in the bottom rung of this business anymore. Like, they can take care of business against teams that are struggling and finish them off. Because when they see Baltimore and Kansas City, they're going to see two of the best. You're going to see the best offensive football. You're going to see the best defense, in my mind, in football in Kansas City. So you're going to get real, and it's going to be on the road. So they're going to get tested, and they'll find out a lot more. But build your confidence up. Find the plays that you're good at right now. Try to establish those basics that you want to, win the line of scrimmage with, and play turnover-free football. Those things always give you a chance when you see, two of the better teams in this business the next 2 weeks.
Baldy, last one for you. I am not concerned about this Carolina Panthers team one bit. Some people say I'm overlooking them. I don't think the Broncos are going to overlook them, but if there's anything the Broncos need to be concerned about with this Panthers team for them possibly pulling off an upset, what would it be?
Well, it would be, before last week against Washington, Chuba Hubbard was the third leading rusher in this business, and the offensive line played very well. It's the same 5 starters. Now, Washington did a great job last week of shutting him down. 7 of his 17 runs last week went for a yard or less. So their run defense and run fits was spot on. So I'd get after Chuba Hubbard. Like, that's the one thing in all this losing that they've done well. They've run the ball pretty well. The right guard, Robert Hunt, is a very, very good player. They paid a handsome price for him, but he's a good player, and he moves body. So to me, if I'm Vance Joseph, I'm on that defense, like, that's my concern, that they get the running game going and they establish confidence in it.
Huge. I love it, Baldy. Thank you so much for your insight. We look forward to talking to you about probably a 5-3 Broncos team next week.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice for, because they got, like I said, 2 tough games coming up on the road, and they're going to find out an awful lot about the trajectory of this team going forward.
Yeah, and we're going to need your input on those teams as well. Thank you so much, Baldy. Have a great weekend.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, guys.